Most people think money rewards hard work, but if that were true, the hardest working people in the world would also be the richest. And they're not. Because money doesn't operate on effort, it operates on levels. 7 of them. And each level follows completely different rules. The strange part? Most people spend their entire lives stuck on the first level, without ever realizing the higher ones even exist. If you look closely at the financial world, you start noticing a pattern. Workers, professionals, business owners, investors. Each group plays a different game, and the higher you go, the less money depends on effort, and the more it depends on position. Level 1, the worker. At the first level, money comes from time. You work, you get paid. Simple, salary, hourly wages, overtime. It feels fair. Work harder leads to earn more. But there's one hidden problem. Time is limited. No matter how productive you become, there are still only 24 hours in a day, which means income at this level will always have a ceiling, and the system knows that. But then something strange happens. Some people stop selling time and start selling skills. Level 2. The skilled professional doctors, engineers, consultants, lawyers. Instead of selling hours, they sell expertise. Their income rises dramatically, but the underlying rule remains the same: no work, no income. Even the highest paid professionals still depend on something fragile, their own time. And time is the weakest financial asset in the world. Which raises an interesting question. If selling time doesn't create real wealth, how do wealthy people actually build it? The answer begins at level 3. Level 3, the business builder. At this level, the equation changes, because instead of selling time, people begin buying time from others. This is where business owners operate. A founder builds a team. Employees handle the daily work. The system produces income, even when the owner isn't present. This is called leverage, and leverage changes everything. But even businesses have limits, because businesses require management, and management requires attention, which means even successful entrepreneurs remain tied to their systems, just at a higher level. But the real shift in wealth doesn't happen in business. It happens when money itself starts doing the work. Welcome to level 4. Level 4, the investors operate differently. They don't trade time, they deploy capital, stocks, real estate, private investments. Here, money begins producing more money, quietly, automatically, year after year. This is why the wealthy rarely rely on salaries, because once capital starts compounding, wealth begins to accelerate. But even investors aren't the top of the system, because above them are the people controlling billions. Level 5, the capital controllers, hedge fund managers, private equity partners, venture capital firms. These individuals don't just invest their own money, they manage other people's money, pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, institutional capital. Instead of millions, they control billions. And when you control billions, you influence entire industries. Which companies expand, which companies disappear, and which technologies shape the future. But something even more powerful sits above capital, and most people never see it. Level 6, the network. At this level, the most valuable asset isn't money, it's access. Deals happen through relationships, private meetings, exclusive circles, introductions between powerful individuals. Information travels through these networks long before it reaches the public, which means the people inside them often move capital before the rest of the world even realizes what's happening. Level 7, the architects. At the very top are the architects of the system itself. the individuals who influence policy, financial regulations, global capital flows. They advise governments, work with central banks, structure massive funds. Their names rarely appear in headlines, but their decisions quietly shape entire economies. At this level, money doesn't follow opportunity. Opportunity follows them, and this is when the real realization hits. Money doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage. The higher you go, the less wealth depends on work, and the more it depends on control. Control of capital, control of networks, control of systems. Somewhere tonight, a young graduate accepts their first job offer. They believe success comes from working harder than everyone else. And at the beginning, maybe it does. But eventually, everyone who enters the financial world learns the same lesson. Money isn't just about effort. It's about which level of the game you're playing. And the earlier you understand that, the earlier you start climbing a very different ladder.